Netflix tells a very compelling story, and they do it so well that millions of people end up believing their version of events about Michael Jackson in the series The Verdict. But today, we are not arguing with opinions. We are not debating feelings. Today, we are comparing their narrative with actual court facts. Because once you compare what Netflix shows to what actually happened in that courtroom in the Michael Jackson case, the story starts to fall apart. If you watch the show, you probably think the prosecution had solid evidence. But what if I told you the so-called secret evidence Netflix dramatized doesn't appear to have Michael Jackson's fingerprints on it, according to trial records? What if I told you that the people presented as hostages were, according to court testimony, spending thousands of Michael Jackson's money on luxury beauty salons, shopping trips, and restaurants? Today, we're doing a reality check on Netflix's The Verdict, and we're using one of the most direct sources, the book written by the actual jurors who sat in that courtroom for months during the Michael Jackson trial. Not journalists, not bloggers, not Netflix writers, the jurors, the people who saw every piece of evidence, who listened to every witness, who had to make the final decision. When you compare Netflix's drama to what those jurors actually experienced and wrote down, this dark story starts to fall apart piece by piece. So let's break it down. Let's start with one of the biggest manipulations in the entire show, the hostage narrative. Netflix repeats this idea over and over again, that the Arvizo family were held hostage at Neverland in early 2003. They add tension, they shoot it like a prison film, locked gates, fear, control. But here's the problem. That's not what the jury described during the Michael Jackson trial. They brought receipts. During this exact same hostage period, Janet Arvizo was going to luxury beauty salons, shopping in malls, dining in expensive restaurants, and not secretly, not escaping, openly. And according to the records presented in court, Michael Jackson was paying for it. The jurors themselves noted that this made no sense, because you cannot claim you are a terrified hostage while you're getting manicures, spending thousands of dollars, and moving freely outside the property. That contradiction was so obvious, it became one of the reasons the story started to fall apart in court. But Netflix, this context isn't shown in the series, because a hostage story doesn't work if the hostages. Now let's move to the part Netflix emphasizes the most, the Neverland raids. This is where the show goes full cinematic. Police officers, boxes being carried out, dark lighting, and of course, the implication of adult material. They want you to feel like something disturbing was discovered, but let's slow down. What were those materials actually? According to the Michael Jackson trial records, they were regular magazines. Vogue, Vanity Fair, fashion photography, art books, the kind of material you can buy almost anywhere. This wasn't illegal content. This was normal visual material, the kind used by artists, designers, performers. But Netflix doesn't include that context. But now comes the detail that raises serious questions. This is based on forensic analysis presented in court. Every single one of those magazines was tested. Fingerprints, DNA, page by page. And here's what was reported. No fingerprints from the accuser. No fingerprints from Michael Jackson. Nothing. Think about that for a second. Because the accusation claimed that these materials were used repeatedly, that they were shown, shared, handled. If that were true, their prints would likely be present. That's basic logic. But instead, there was nothing linking them directly, and the jurors noted this as a major turning point. Because this wasn't just weak evidence. It was evidence that didn't support the story being told. And this is where things get interesting. Because once you start noticing these gaps, you start asking a bigger question. Why? Why would Netflix leave this out? Why remove critical context? Why dramatize certain claims and not show key contradictions? The answer is uncomfortable, but simple. Because truth doesn't always sell. A fair trial, where evidence is examined and an innocent verdict is reached, is not a thriller. It's not dark enough. It's not shocking enough. It doesn't keep people watching. But a dramatic narrative, a psychological story, a villain you can fear, that sells, that gets views, that creates engagement. And Netflix is not a courtroom. It's an entertainment platform. Now, let's talk about something people don't like to admit. Once a story is emotionally convincing, people stop checking facts. They remember the feeling, not the evidence. So, if a show makes you feel uncomfortable, makes you feel like something is off, your brain fills in the gaps, even if the actual evidence suggests something else. And that's exactly what's happening here. So what should you do instead? Don't rely only on dramatizations. Don't rely on edited narratives. If you actually care about the full picture, read the court documents. Look at the transcripts. Check what the jurors themselves said about the Michael Jackson case, because those are the people who had access to everything. Not a scriptwriter, not a director, the jury. And once you do that, you'll start seeing the difference between a story and reality. So now I want to hear from you. Did Netflix convince you? Or did something feel off while watching? Drop your opinion in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns like this, where we compare narrative and facts, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.